Cheryl Berry. Hi Chris, listening to your Q&As has so far cleared up a lot. Great work. When you refer to the original concept of Scientology as opposed to what it has become today, what exactly is that? I've heard many ex-Scientologists state they still believe in the concept, just not COB's current reign and all the abuses, etc. What exactly does auditing do that is beneficial? Also, how in the world do the Squirrel Busters get away with so blatantly harassing and berating ex-members as they do? Good Lord, they even advertise themselves on their chests. When I refer to the original idea of Scientology in some of my videos, what I was talking about there was an idea that I had at that time about how Scientology originally was this thing that Hubbard developed in order to help people, and that they would come in and pay money to do services, and there would be an exchange, for example, and that they would move up this bridge to total freedom. And that's sort of my concept of the original idea of Scientology. I contrast that with David Miscavige's idea of Scientology because he's turned it into something completely different, where he doesn't care about people doing services, he just wants their money. And it's a very blatant money grab now, where there used to be the idea that there was an exchange and there were services. Now that idea doesn't exist so much. It exists some, but not to us old school people who were around in the 80s, or much less those in the 60s and 70s, where it was a real service-driven sort of organization. And now it's not. Now you walk in and they sell you stuff, or you do some services, and then you do them over again and over again and over again, and they just keep you in a hamster wheel, and it's ridiculous. That wasn't what Scientology was when I got involved with it, and if it had been, I don't know that I ever would have gotten as involved in it. So that's the contrast that I'm making when I'm talking about those two different things. Now, as far as the Squirrel Busters go, I'll give you a twofer here. The Squirrel Busters never expected to be posted all over the internet. They were broadcasting themselves to intimidate Marty Rathbun and the people that he and his wife, Monique, and the people who were going to see Marty at the time, who were getting services from Marty. Marty at that time was delivering Scientology out of his home, and he's since quit that and doesn't do that anymore. But people were coming to him, and so those Squirrel Busters were there to intimidate and harass Marty and his wife Monique and anybody else who came around there. But they really didn't think the thought through very much about the idea that all of that would be posted all over the internet and they would end up with massive egg all over their face.